India's chances of breaking through to the UN Security Council have got a slight boost after the G8 came out with their joint declaration. Now, the declaration, titled Promoting the Global Agenda, released by the G8 nations, addresses the question of reforming world institutions by giving greater representation to developing nations. The statement acknowledges the need to reform the UN. India's assertive diplomacy on financial reforms also paid off, with the forum reaching a consensus on increasing the share of emerging economies like India in institutions like the IMF and World Bank.
Not just an open-ended working group where opinions are rare. Now there is actual negotiations under the president of the UNGA from April this year. So now, and this is one more step, you had all 5 of the permanent members have signed on to this. So we take it one more step at a time, and we hope we can carry it through.
Well, what does this mean for India? For one, in theory at least, accept that there is a need for reform, and therefore India's dreams of one day being part of the UN Security Council now perhaps can become a reality, as it is perhaps closer to now achieving that.
But sources in the Ministry of External Affairs have also said that India is not too happy with the language of the joint declaration. The question of reforming the United Nations is placed last in the list of the G8 nations' declaration. Indian diplomats are also unimpressed by the generalized nature of the declaration, which steers clear of mentioning the word UNSC anywhere.
For me, the other impressive thing, and this is partly a result of the economic crisis, of the changed situation in the world today, that there is broad recognition that we really need to work these institutions, we need to change them. There's already a commitment to change the international financial institutions and to restructure them, to change voting shares, to do that at the G20 in London. You'll see this is a much longer list. In fact, there were other countries who wanted to add more and more, but we said a general reference is good enough. You don't need 5 pages of names of 60 international organizations.
India views developments here at the G8 in positive light. For one, India's stand of reform of international institutions of governance has been vindicated, with all member countries visiting here endorsing a similar stand.